Axis on a bow sight. Why do they matter? And why do some have a first, second, and third, while some only have a second and third axis? So most high-end sights are going to have at least a second and third adjustment, and some will have a first. So the first axis adjustment is your vertical rail of the sight, so the slider part, what it slides on. And then the second is basically adjusting the scope housing, so it's at a 90 degrees with that rail of the sight. So as it slides up and down, it stays level or in the same plane, so you're not going to hit left or right. Then the third axis is as you're shooting uphill or downhill, it's going to keep that bow level and on that, so it's not going to hit left or right because it's going to stay level and help you hold that bow level. So why do some have a first axis and some only have a second? So the first axis and adjusting it are basically for your feel, like if you're pulling a bow back and your natural comfortable position, you feel like your bow's canted and your level's not lining up, you can actually adjust the rail so you're not putting torque on the bow. So the first axis is important in that aspect, because then you can get it to fit your personal feel and what's comfortable and repeatable to you. Now the second axis is okay because you can basically add weight to your bow with the stabilizers to kind of get that feel and be able to hold that level. So that's why some only have a second axis, and as long as it's in line with the first, you're fine, because you should be able to slide that side up and down and not hit left or right. So it's just a second axis adjustment, making sure that it is level to your sight rail, so they're going to slide up and down, or a 90 degree with your sight rail, so when you move up and down, they stay in the same plane. The first axis, like I said, is just going to be for comfort. You can get it, level to your string, level to your riser, however you want to feel. Or if you're drawing back and you just feel like, man, this is just not level for what feels comfortable to me, you can level it to your own personal feel, and then you're not putting added torque onto the bow. So if your sight only has a second axis adjustment, you're going to have to use your stabilizers or something to get your bow to balance to that feel. And if you only have a second axis adjustment, make sure that you shoot through paper holding that bow level, because you are going to put some sort of torque on that bow, so it will move that way. So most places where you buy a bow sight, especially in my neighborhood here, the pro shops basically just slap a sight on there and that's it. So if you're buying a high-end sight, you should level your axis to get them set so you're actually getting the function of that high-end sight and the features out of it. So either some might do it for you if you pay them a little extra, or you can do it yourself with the bow vise and then this Hamskea Gen 2 Pro sight level. So you can do your third axis with it and second. But so now talking about each one, so like the Ultra View, it comes with the first and second set together at a 90 degree angle. So the ones that only have the second and third axis, like this Arxos sight, you're basically just going to level your scope to your rail, so that way they slide in the same plane and you're not hitting left or right as you go up and down. Now the third axis, like I said, is going to be for uphill and downhill. As you're going downhill, you want to make sure that your bow stays level, and that third axis is important to get that set so you're level while you're shooting downhill and uphill, so you're not missing left and right. And that one's a little bit trickier to get set. Like the first and second you can easily set in a bow vise, but the third is actually going to take into account the torque you're putting on the bow. So that one's better if you shoot that axis in. And the best way to do that is to take a target, take a level, draw a vertical line on that target, shoot uphill and downhill, and see if you're consistently hitting to the right or left, and adjust that third axis. So as you're doing that, it's perfectly level. So I hope this helps describe the axis and why it actually matters. It is going to make you a better archer for sure. And if you're buying a high-end sight, highly recommend that you make sure that those axes are set. Whether it's you doing it or the pro shop, I highly recommend it, and it will make you a better shot and more consistent, especially if you are shooting at elevated positions. I hope you found this video to be helpful and why the axes matter on your bow sight. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you found this to be helpful. And I'm always doing different reviews and different things on here, so make sure you check back. As always, stay hidden.